You know, this entire thumbnail posy thing reminded me of that guy who's like crying. He's like, me posing for that thumbnail right now. I don't know what to thumbnail this as. I don't know what to how to thumbnail this, because it's like, do I make a happy thumbnail where I'm like, everything is fine and this is just a life update, guys, normal, or do I make one where I'm actually like, ah! I don't know. This is fine. This is fine. It's fine. This is fine. Hello everybody. So today's video doesn't have a lot of structure, but you know what? Sometimes you need an unstructured video because life is hard, and then it throws you a curveball, and then another curveball, and then you're tumbling down a hill, and then 2020 eats you. I'm gonna give you a little rundown because I had some shitty news yesterday. I wanted to share it with you because, I don't know, I feel like oversharing. I uploaded a video on the 31st of May 2019 called Brainstorming Korea. Video clips of me over the span of like a month of me getting fired from my job, giving up my apartment, or rather subletting my apartment, and moving my ass to Korea. I watched it recently and it made me sad because as fast as that happened, the same amount of speed got my ass back to Switzerland during the midst of a pandemic. I hate it here. So, if you're wondering, first of all, why are you back in Switzerland? I'm back in Switzerland because the person who was subletting my apartment, I had an apartment in Switzerland, I was subletting it to a person. They wrote me and were like, Janice, within 2 weeks I'm moving out and I'm not gonna pay rent anymore. Deal with it. And I was like, oh, you are? That's so great. Fuck. And then I had a meltdown of like just crying and stress and like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm literally in the hotspot of the COVID-19 virus in Korea right now. Oh, it was great. It's like, okay, fine. I'm just gonna like give up my apartment and give it back to the company that I rented it with, and then that's that. Turns out you can't do that unless you physically write your name on a piece of paper and send it to them with a physical letter through physical mail instead of an email with a confirmation phone call. And I'm just like, why the fuck? Like, contracts these days are being signed with just a digital signature, just onto some random contract, and then it's valid. But apparently not in Switzerland. So I had a whole like cry thing again because I couldn't call the company that I was renting with because I was in Korea. Shit would have gotten so expensive. I was crying to my mom about it, so she called them, and then she like stuck up for me. And then after like a lot of back and forth of me explaining my situation over and over and over and over and over again, they were like, you know what, you can write us an email this one time, but your grandma still has to sign it because she's on the lease as well, and then like we'll let you go. Great. All of my shit is still in that apartment. I don't like that. So then I had to look for flights, and I was like, wait, will I even be able to like fly back to Switzerland? Because it literally was like in the midst of the pandemic. Like, ooh, like it was so bad. Literally the entire world was like, bruh, Korea and Daegu, like they're fucked. Yeah, we were. Fun fact. We were so fucked. Where the fuck was I supposed to stay in Switzerland after giving up my apartment? All of my stuff also had to move, and then I had to find a new tenant for the apartment because otherwise I would have a 3-month like window where I'm not allowed to, like, I can finish the contract, but I have to stay for another 3 months. I don't know what it's called, but like I have, like, even if I finish the contract, I have to stay for another 3 months, and then I can officially like get out of the apartment. So, but that 3-month period isn't there if you just give them a new tenant. So I had to do that from Korea. It was great. It was not complicated at all. Literally, people would write me and then I would be like, oh yeah, this is the information of the person who's subletting it. And then I had to contact the person who was subletting to ask about the person who just like interviewed with them for the apartment. And I was stress. This is a whole bunch of stress. They were like, oh yeah, and by the way, for the giving over the keys to the new tenant, you have to be there. And I was like, me, who is in Korea, stuck in South Korea, I have to be there? Why? Might have been 3 weeks, 4 weeks, some like that kind of time frame. I had to pack up my shit in South Korea. I left some stuff there because my mindset was, oh yeah, I'm gonna be back within like a month, it's fine. I had booked a flight there and back. Smart, it was also cheaper. Oh, that coupon is gonna go off. I have a coupon with a flight company that I can't use, but it's really like, oh, Corona, ooh, I hate Corona. Anyway, I just remember that. It's a fun little tidbit of like, oh yeah, I have money that I can't use because it's on a coupon. Give me back my money, don't give me a coupon. Jesus Christ. I wish I could go full Karen because like sometimes I think I need it, but I can't do it. Anyway, so then I came back to Switzerland, left some of my stuff there, left my iPad in South Korea, as you do. Because I was like, yeah, I'll be back within like a month, it's chill. Flight got canceled, back. So I was like, oh, cool, so that's great. Currently I have 2 sweaters, 4 t-shirts. Savings, Switzerland fucking drains the savings, my dude. She just goes and it's gone. The savings are gone. Anyway, so I did the like, okay, here you go, have the apartment back. I moved all of my shit to my grandmother's house, which is where I'm currently staying. And then I was like, okay, so let me get back to Korea so that I can like, you know, be back in Korea where I'm supposed to be, where my stuff, like half of my stuff is. Then I looked for flights and then just shit kept happening and more and more and more and more and more shit kept happening. At first it was like, oh, if you're a foreigner traveling to Korea, you have to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. That's chill, I can do that, let's go. And then it was like, people broke quarantine and infected other people. Thanks people from Germany and Britain. What the fuck? What the fuck? And then they were like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to implement like a harsher rule. So, 2 weeks quarantine, if you're on a tourist visa, government facility, you're gonna have to pay 1,400,000 won, which is roughly translated into this much money. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. Ew, that's a lot of money, my dude. Well, if I do Korean school, then I will only have to do the quarantine once. It'll be worth it. Like, I'll be able to stay for longer and it's fine. And then more shit happened in South Korea and, you know, all over the world and Europe. And then Switzerland got really bad with COVID and I was just still stuck here. Can I just go back now? Again, more shitty shit happened with COVID. And now South Korea said, oh, actually, if you are a tourist, you literally cannot enter the country. Fuck off. And even like long-term visas are like, ooh, quarantine, go. If you don't have a specific visa, quarantine facility. And they upped the price for the quarantine facility to 2,100,000 won. And I'm like, ah, you're getting really expensive. Stop it. And so I did the math of everything the other day of like flights to South Korea, visa South Korea, school fees South Korea, quarantine money South Korea, living there for 6 months South Korea, apartment fees South Korea. And then I did all of the math and I looked at my bank account and I was like, oh, this shit don't add up no more. Like, I got the acceptance letter for the Korean school being like, hey, yeah, you can come to South Korea, how exciting, oh my god, so exciting. By the way, we don't do dormitories because of COVID right now, so deal with that yourself. Fucking finally, oh my god, I'm so excited. 4 months of Switzerland and I'm so ready to leave. And then I did the math and I was like, oh, I can't go. I don't, after 6 months of South Korea in the current state, that would leave me with like less than 10,000 Swiss franc in my bank account. And that's not enough of a backup for like me. Because after those 6 months in South Korea, I would have to come back to Switzerland. That you can't live off of like less than 10K. Irresponsible as shit from like an adult standpoint of view. And then I messaged my friend who, like my friend in Korea who'd gotten super excited with me like, oh my god, you're finally coming back to this. And I messaged her about this and I messaged her about the math that I'd done and she was like, you can't do that. That's disgusting. No, we are not risking our financial security in the midst of a pandemic. And I was like, you know what? You're kind of right. You're kind of right. And so now I'm like, I'm here in Switzerland for an indefinite amount of time, which, you know, it's fine. Like, I can stay at my grandmother's house, but my grandmother's house is in the countryside. I can't drive, and the public transport system around here is, it is so bad. Anyway, so right now, what are my plans? I'm gonna be staying in Switzerland for an indefinite amount of time. You know, at least until like the whole COVID thing blows over, because please blow over. Please blow over. I'm so sick and tired of COVID. Yeah, no, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stay in Switzerland indefinitely because I can't go back to South Korea. I'm probably gonna ask my friend to just ship my shit to me. I did leave a lot of stuff, like I left a lot of clothes, I left books, and I left skincare. I left my skincare, and like a mini suitcase. I left a mini suitcase in South Korea. Because I thought I was only gonna be gone for a month. This is fine, it's fine. I'm fine, this is fine. Try to get a job here again in Switzerland, because like I can't live off my savings forever. But I checked the job listings for like graphic designer, which is like, you know, what I studied for, and there are 4. 4 job listings. 4. I'm fine. This is fine. Try to get a job, you know, with those 4 job listings. Get a job, try to get an apartment closer to the city where hopefully the job is gonna be at. Off of those 4 job listings, one of which I'm not really qualified for and the other one I'm like semi-qualified for. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to that. My hopes are that COVID dies by December. I'm laughing at myself. Wishful thinking. I'm hoping that COVID dies down by December and that South Korea will just be like, oh yeah, tourists can come back. You can come back. So that I can go to South Korea, spend like 1 or 2 months there, get my shit all together, like get my stuff, or spend however much time I want in South Korea. Because I still have so many video ideas for Daegu. I'm so sad. All of my video ideas. Daegu's not gonna run away. My friend said that as well, who lives in South Korea. She was like, you know, like Daegu's not gonna run away. Like Korea's not gonna run away. You can still come back. So yeah, that's my update. It's really fun. It's fine. Fine, it's literally fine. We're fine. This is fine. How silly of me to assume that just as my life was getting good, that a global pandemic wouldn't come along and ruin the entire thing. Silly of me to assume that and call it a day. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can stick around till when I make a new one. I hope you drink lots of water, get lots of sleep, and this is the end. Goodbye. I would also like to give a special shout out to my Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting me, and an even more special shout out to my Patreon Moa. Thank you so much for supporting me. I hope you enjoy the content. See you next time. I want to be a plant. Right now, I would really like to be a plant. Can I just be a pea tree in some old granny's garden, please?